Welcome to another episode of Thailand Truth Talks. At 6 a.m., immigration knocked, and his life was gone. He'd trusted the man in the suit with framed diplomas, paid for a quiet renewal, and woke to sealed doors, frozen bank accounts, and an overstay stamp he'd never seen coming. In this video, I'll show you the single question that would have exposed the con, the 3 fast checks you can run right now, and the red flags that mean walk away. Watch until the end and share this with anyone moving to Thailand. This isn't about tourists getting overcharged for a tuk-tuk ride or buying fake designer bags on Sukhumvit. This is about the systematic destruction of retirement dreams, the theft of life savings, and the terrifying reality of facing deportation after trusting the wrong person with your legal status in Thailand. This is about fake lawyers, phantom law firms, and the visa monsters who prey on your fear of Thai bureaucracy. To grasp the scale of this crisis, consider Thailand's foreign population. Recent UN data report over 5.3 million non-Thai nationals living in the country, including tens of thousands of retirees. For example, in 1 year, about 35,846 retirement visas were issued to foreigners. With such a large expat community, even a small percentage falling victim to scams translates into thousands of ruined lives and lost savings. Let me tell you about Robert, a 60-year-old retiree from Manchester who sold his home, said goodbye to his grandchildren, and moved to Bangkok 3 years ago with dreams of spending his golden years in tropical paradise. Robert did everything by the book. He researched visa requirements, opened a Thai bank account with the required 800,000 baht, and even took Thai language classes. But Robert made one fatal mistake. He trusted the wrong person with his visa renewal. Robert found his immigration specialist the way most expats do, through glowing recommendations on expat forums. The man went by the nickname Mr. Double Check, a reference to his supposed meticulous attention to detail with visa applications. His office was in a respectable building near Asok, complete with framed certificates on the walls, a secretary who spoke perfect English, and business cards embossed with gold lettering. Everything screamed legitimacy. The problems started when Robert's marriage began falling apart. His Thai wife of 2 years wanted a divorce, and Mr. Doublecheck assured him he could handle both the visa renewal and the divorce proceedings quietly, protecting Robert's assets and ensuring his continued legal status in Thailand. The fee was steep, 50,000 baht upfront, another 50,000 for the divorce paperwork. But Robert had seen legitimate law firms charging similar amounts. He paid in cash, as requested, because Mr. Doublecheck explained it would keep things discreet and avoid unnecessary tax complications. Cases like Robert's have caught authorities' attention. In mid-2025, Thai police announced a zero-tolerance crackdown on visa fraud after arresting multiple agents. For instance, Bangkok immigration officials busted 2 Chinese nationals for forging official passport stamps on work visas. Senior officers warned that Thailand will aggressively prosecute anyone caught tampering with visas or documents. Such enforcement shows the government is finally targeting these scams as serious crimes. 3 months later, Robert received a knock on his condo door at 6 in the morning. Immigration police. His visa had expired 45 days ago. The divorce papers he thought he had filed didn't exist. His wife had already initiated her own divorce proceedings, claiming abandonment and seeking full ownership of their jointly purchased property in Hua Hin. Mr. Doublecheck's phone was disconnected. The office was empty. The secretary had vanished. Robert wasn't just facing deportation. He was about to lose everything. Back in late 2020, at least 8 foreigners fell victim to an immigration scam in Thailand, in which a deceptive Thai visa agent required a 10,000 to 100,000 baht deposit for visas she never delivered. But Robert's story represents something far more sinister: the evolution of these scams into sophisticated operations that can destroy lives while maintaining a veneer of legitimacy that fools even careful expats. Thailand's Immigration Bureau has responded with high-profile raids. In August of 2025, police raided an entire office filled with Chinese nationals for forging work visas, and earlier sweeps netted overstayers across Phuket and Chiang Mai. But here's the truth. While headlines reassure the public, the reality for foreigners is far scarier. Immigration officers now carry handheld scanners, spot checking visas in malls, condos, and airports. Whether you overstayed by a week or unknowingly carry a fake stamp, you're treated as a criminal first and left to prove your innocence later. The underground law firm phenomenon in Thailand isn't new, but it's reaching epidemic proportions. These operations range from solo operators working out of coffee shops with fake business cards to elaborate offices with multiple employees, all participating in an orchestrated deception. They target the vulnerable, aging expats confused by language barriers, recent arrivals overwhelmed by bureaucracy, and desperately, those already in legal trouble who need help fast. What makes these scams particularly cruel is how they exploit legitimate fears. Thailand's visa system is genuinely complex. Immigration law changes frequently. The penalties for overstaying are severe. Divorce proceedings involving property can be nightmarish for foreigners. These fake lawyers don't need to create fear. It already exists. They simply position themselves as the solution. The methods vary, but the patterns are consistent. They often start with unsolicited contact, a helpful message on an expat forum, a business card slipped under your door, a friendly approach at an expat meetup. They name drop, claiming connections at immigration, relationships with judges, insider knowledge of loopholes. They create urgency, warning about impending law changes or limited windows for applications. They demand large upfront payments, always with reasonable sounding explanations. Scammers also exploit foreigners' lack of knowledge about Thai law itself. For instance, they'll claim that a new rule requires a sponsorship fee or foreigner registration bond. That doesn't exist in the law. In 2024, a Bangkok-based fraud ring charged retirees between 20 to 40,000 baht each for a fake senior residency certificate, supposedly issued by the Ministry of Interior. Victims only discovered the deception when immigration officers told them no such certificate had ever existed. Earlier this month, an American man and a Thai woman were arrested for allegedly issuing fake visas under the Bangkok company Thai Visa Center. This case exposed how even seemingly established companies with websites, social media presence, and years of operation can be complete frauds. The company claimed 15 years of operation, But investigations reveal the website was only created in 2018. Every testimonial was fake. Every success story was fabricated. The sophistication of these operations cannot be overstated. They create fake documents that look authentic to untrained eyes. They provide receipts with official looking stamps. They give you paperwork to sign, forms that seem identical to legitimate immigration documents. Some even escort you to immigration offices, though they mysteriously handle the submission process themselves while you wait outside. It all feels real until the day it catastrophically isn't. Consider the particularly insidious subset of these scams, the ghost divorce firms. These operations specifically target foreign men married to Thai nationals who are seeking divorce. They promise to protect assets, ensure fair property division, and handle child custody arrangements. They create elaborate fake documentation, including divorce certificates that look completely authentic. The victim believes they're divorced, free to leave the country or remarry, only to discover months or years later that they're still legally married. Their spouse has filed for divorce on grounds of abandonment, and Thai courts have already ruled against them in absentia. One victim, James from Australia, discovered his ghost divorce when he tried to marry his new partner in Australia. The Thai embassy informed him he was still legally married in Thailand. His ex-wife had used his supposed abandonment to claim sole ownership of 3 properties they'd purchased together. The fake lawyer who'd handled his divorce had actually been working with his ex-wife from the beginning. James lost property worth over 12 million baht and faced bigamy charges in Australia. Cases like James's aren't unique to Thailand. Cambodia and Vietnam have seen similar scams involving ghost divorces and property seizures. In Phnom Penh, at least 5 foreigners lost condominiums in 2023 after paying fraudulent legal firms that promised to secure ownership through bogus nominee structures. These regional parallels show the scams aren't isolated. They're part of a wider Southeast Asian pattern that targets retirees who underestimate how quickly legal systems can be twisted against them. The financial devastation is only part of the story. The emotional and psychological toll is immeasurable. These aren't wealthy expats with resources to spare. They're retirees on fixed incomes, teachers saving every baht, small business owners investing their life savings. When the scam is revealed, they don't just lose money, they lose their legal status, their homes, their entire lives in Thailand. 6 people, 3 immigration police, 2 Thai men, and a Nigerian, have been arrested for colluding in forging visa stamps for foreigners entering the country illegally. This case revealed another terrifying dimension. Some fake lawyers are actually working with corrupt immigration officials. Your visa might be stamped in your passport by a real immigration officer at a real immigration office, but it's still illegal. When the corruption is discovered, you're the one facing deportation and blacklisting. The red flags are often obvious in hindsight, but easy to miss when you're desperate or confused. The fake lawyer who insists on cash-only payments, the agent who claims they can get you a visa type you don't qualify for, the firm that won't provide written contracts, the specialist who can't or won't explain the actual legal process, the consultant who pressures you to decide immediately. But when you're facing visa expiration, when you're terrified of navigating Thai bureaucracy, when someone offers to solve all your problems, rational thinking often takes a backseat to relief. Let's talk about specific fraud methods these criminals employ. The advance fee scam is the most common. They take your money up front and simply disappear. But more sophisticated operations run long cons that can last months or even years. They might successfully process one or two legitimate visa runs or extensions, building trust before the big score. They provide fake receipts for government fees they never pay. They claim delays at immigration while actually doing nothing. They forge documents that pass casual inspection but crumble under official scrutiny. The permanent visa scam deserves special mention. Thailand doesn't offer permanent visas in the way these scammers claim. They promise lifetime visas, permanent residence, or even Thai citizenship for fees ranging from 50,000 baht to 500,000 baht. They show you sample documents, introduce you to supposed satisfied customers who are actually part of the scam, and create elaborate explanations for why this special program isn't publicly known. You will not know you have been scammed until you go to renew the visa the next year and find out they will not allow you to do so because the agent and immigration officer were arrested for the scam and all related visas are not renewable. This delayed discovery makes these scams particularly cruel. You might live normally for months, believing everything is fine, making plans, investing in your life in Thailand, only to have it all come crashing down at your next visa renewal. The property visa scam is another growing threat. Scammers claim they can help you buy property in ways that circumvent Thai law restrictions on foreign ownership. They establish complicated company structures, create fake Thai partners, or promise special exemptions. The victim believes they own property legally, only to discover they own nothing and have no legal recourse. Their work permit ghost firms represent yet another variation. They promise work permits for jobs that don't exist, at companies that aren't real, in industries where foreigners can't legally work. Teachers are told they can work at schools that have never heard of them. Consultants are given work permits for companies that exist only on paper. Digital nomads are promised legal status for work that Thai law doesn't recognize. The permits might even be real, obtained through corruption, but they're invalid and leave you vulnerable to arrest and deportation. What about legitimate lawyers and visa agents? They exist, of course, but distinguishing them from fraudsters requires vigilance. Real lawyers are registered with the Thai Bar Association. You can and should verify their credentials. Legitimate visa agents are licensed and can show you their authorization from the Immigration Bureau. They provide written contracts, detailed receipts, and never promise impossible outcomes. In contrast to the cash only brokers, trustworthy agents conduct transactions through bank accounts, often paying the immigration fees online or in person, and accompany clients into the office rather than doing everything out of sight. When in doubt, foreigners are advised to confirm their lawyers or agents' license on official government or legal association websites before proceedings. Real lawyers will explain the law, including what's not possible. They won't claim to have special connections or ability to circumvent regulations. They charge reasonable fees that align with the complexity of the work. They have established offices, verifiable history, and genuine client testimonials you can actually contact. Most importantly, they never pressure you for immediate decisions or payment. But even knowing all this, expats continue to fall victim. Why? Because the fear is real, the confusion is real, the language barrier is real, the bureaucracy is genuinely challenging. When you're 65 years old, don't speak Thai, and receive a notice you don't understand from immigration. Panic sets in. When someone offers to make the panic go away, rational thinking often disappears. The complicity of some legitimate businesses makes the situation worse. Some property agencies partner with fake lawyers. Some language schools recommend fraudulent visa agents. Some expat clubs and forums are infiltrated by scammers who build reputation over months before striking. The ecosystem that should protect vulnerable expats sometimes enables their exploitation. Robert's story didn't end with that morning visit from immigration police. He was detained for 5 days while his overstay was processed. He was fined 20,000 baht. His passport was stamped with an overstay that will complicate any future visa applications. He was given 7 days to leave Thailand. His divorce proceeded without him, and he lost the Hua Hin property. His Thai bank accounts were frozen. His retirement dream became a nightmare that cost him over 2 million baht and 3 years of his life. Cases like Robert's are sadly not isolated. In one recent scam, a con artist ran a fake visa service out of Bangkok for years. Clients paid up to 30,000 baht each in advance, but the agency never filed the paperwork. When victims showed up to renew or collect visas, the office was suddenly empty. These scammers often pretend to operate normally, posting fake testimonials online and assuring customers that their visas are officially on file, right up until law enforcement moves in. But Robert was lucky compared to some. He had enough money to fly home. He had a home to return to. He had family who could help him rebuild. Others aren't so fortunate. They are expats who become effectively stateless, unable to afford leaving, unable to legally stay, trapped in a nightmare of their own trusting nature. Reading and doing research online, I found a story of this Chinese woman that for the past 3 years was studying here in Thailand on a student visa. She used an agency to extend her visa for 1 year. Upon attempting to fly home to China, it was found out that her visa extension was a fake. They took away her passport and put her in jail. This testimonial from a visa scam victim shows how even educated, careful people can fall victim. She was jailed, then deported and blacklisted from Thailand. 3 years of building a life, destroyed in an instant by a fake visa agent. The threat continues evolving. In 2023 to 2024, new visa categories and digital permits gave scammers fresh angles. For example, when Thailand launched its long-term digital nomad and resident visas, con artists immediately began marketing fake LTR or freelancer visas, complete with bogus forms and stamps. None of these elaborate offers hold legal water, as confirmed by officials. Any visa not issued through official Thai government channels will eventually be invalidated. Victims often only discover this when they try to renew or when border officers start asking detailed questions. The evolution of these scams is particularly concerning. They're becoming more sophisticated, more organized, and more brazen. Social media has given them new hunting grounds. COVID-19 visa extensions created new opportunities for fraud. Digital payment systems make it easier for them to disappear with your money. The increasing number of expats and digital nomads provides an ever-growing pool of potential victims. The COVID-19 pandemic created a perfect storm for these scammers, with borders closing, visa rules changing daily, and immigration offices overwhelmed. Desperate expats were willing to pay anything to secure their status. Fake agents promised special COVID extensions, amnesty visas that didn't exist, and under-the-table solutions to unprecedented problems. Many expats who'd never considered using an agent were suddenly vulnerable, and scammers were ready. A striking example came with Thailand's COVID-era systems. The Thailand Pass online entry system was introduced as a free service, but fraudulent websites sprang up, charging desperate travelers to register for a visa-free travel card. The real government service never charged any fee. This highlights how scammers exploit confusion. They invent special visas or priority bookings that do not exist, then charge exorbitant fees. In fact, any official immigration process that is supposed to be free or fixed price, like health insurance waivers or border runs, became a target for these fake agencies during the pandemic. Scammers pounced on the digital nomad hype. When Thailand launched its official long-term resident visa, fraudsters immediately invented spin-offs, so-called freelancer visas, and lifetime nomad passes. Expats were charged up to 150,000 baht for paperwork stamped with fake ministry seals. Immigration has confirmed no such categories exist, but by the time victims find out, often at a border checkpoint, the scammers are long gone, and the expat is left blacklisted. One particularly cruel scam targets elderly expats with medical issues. Fake lawyers promise medical visas, claiming they can secure long-term stays for medical treatment. They coordinate with bogus medical facilities, creating fake treatment plans and documentation. The elderly victim pays for both legal services and medical treatments they don't need and aren't receiving, all while their actual visa expires. The education visa scam has exploded in recent years. While legitimate education visas exist, scammers create fake schools, sell attendance at schools that don't know you're enrolled, or promise education visas without any actual study requirement. At least 8 foreigners fell victim to an immigration scam in Thailand, many through education visa fraud. When authorities investigate, the students are the ones who face deportation, not just the agents. Let's talk about the recruitment methods these scammers use. They're master psychologists, understanding exactly how to exploit expat vulnerabilities. They lurk in expat Facebook groups, offering helpful advice to build credibility. They attend expat meetups, buying drinks and making friends. They create YouTube channels offering visa advice, building audiences before revealing their services. They write blogs about Thai immigration law, positioning themselves as experts while having no actual legal knowledge. Their referral system is particularly insidious. They offer commissions to anyone who refers clients, turning unwitting expats into accomplices. Your friend who recommends an agent might be getting paid for that recommendation. The helpful person in the expat forum might be earning commission on every victim they deliver. The trust network that expats rely on becomes corrupted by financial incentives. Some scammers run multiple operations simultaneously. The same person might operate a visa agency, a property consultancy, and a translation service, all fraudulent, all targeting the same vulnerable expat community. When one operation is exposed, they simply shift focus to another, using different names and locations but the same methods. The technology element cannot be ignored. These scammers create professional websites that outrank legitimate firms in search results. They use SEO techniques to appear when desperate expats search for help. They create fake review sites praising their services. They use virtual offices to appear established. They accept cryptocurrency to avoid financial tracking. They're not just criminals, they're tech-savvy entrepreneurs of exploitation. What happens when victims fight back? They post warnings online, film YouTube exposés, and file police complaints. But the scammers are always one step ahead. They threaten defamation lawsuits. Remember, in Thailand, even telling the truth can land you in court if it harms someone's reputation. They flood forums with fake positive reviews to drown out complaints. And because many victims no longer have valid visas, they're terrified to walk into a police station at all. In the end, silence often feels safer than justice. The psychological manipulation extends beyond the initial scam. When victims discover they've been defrauded, scammers often return in different guises, offering to help recover lost money or fix visa problems for additional fees. Desperate victims, having already lost everything, sometimes fall for these recovery scams, doubling their losses. There is a particularly cruelty in how these scams exploit the dreams of retirement in Thailand. People who've worked their entire lives, saved carefully, planned meticulously, find themselves not just financially ruined but emotionally devastated. The paradise they sought becomes a prison of debt, legal problems, and shattered trust. Some never recover, returning home broken and bitter, their golden years tarnished beyond repair. The darkest outcomes are rarely publicized. Depression, broken families, and even suicide among victims who feel too ashamed to admit what happened. Thai police records in 2024 quietly noted several foreign retiree suicides linked to financial ruin from scams, though the reports never made international news. These hidden consequences remind us that this isn't just about money, it's about human lives unraveling in silence. The complicity question haunts many victims. Were there signs they ignored? Red flags they didn't want to see? The self-blame can be overwhelming, but it's important to understand these scammers are professionals. They know exactly how to appear legitimate, how to build trust, how to exploit fear and confusion. Victims aren't stupid or careless. They're human beings navigating a complex foreign system while being actively deceived by criminals. What can be done? Education is crucial. Expats need to understand not just the law but the scams. They need to know the red flags, the verification methods, the resources for legitimate help. The Thai government has made efforts to crack down on fake agents, but the problems persist. The expat community needs to be more vigilant about protecting its vulnerable members, creating verified lists of legitimate services, and quickly exposing scams. The role of technology in fighting these scams is growing. Blockchain verification for legal documents, AI analysis of fraudulent patterns, secure payment systems that protect consumers. These tools exist but aren't widely implemented. The Thai government's digitalization efforts could help, creating systems where visa status can be verified online, where legitimate agents are easily confirmed, where fraudulent documents are immediately detected. But technology isn't enough. There needs to be a cultural shift in how the expat community approaches legal services. The tendency to seek shortcuts, to trust forum recommendations without verification, to prioritize convenience over security. These behaviors enable scammers. Every expat who uses legitimate channels, who refuses to pay bribes, who reports suspicious agents, helps protect the entire community. For those currently in Thailand, worried about their visa status or legal situation, the message is clear. Verify everything. Check lawyer credentials with the Thai Bar Association. Confirm agent licenses with immigration. Never pay large sums up front. Always get written contracts. If something seems too good to be true, it absolutely is. Your visa status is too important to trust to anyone whose credentials you haven't thoroughly verified. Finally, remember that this is a multi-billion baht issue. Thai police and anti-fraud agencies report that thousands of foreigners file complaints each year about visa and document scams, with combined losses easily reaching tens of millions of baht. Protecting your future in Thailand starts with skepticism and verification. Treat any special service as a potential scam and always insist on official paperwork. The legal channels and fees are public knowledge. If an agent claims a shortcut, walk away. Your retirement or work life here is worth doing by the book. The story of Robert and thousands like him serves as a warning. Thailand remains a wonderful place for expats, but it's not without risks. The fake lawyers, phantom law firms, and visa monsters are real. They're sophisticated, organized, and constantly evolving. Your best defense is knowledge, vigilance, and the courage to walk away when something doesn't feel right, even when you're desperate for help. As we close today's episode, remember that behind every scam is a human story. A retiree who just wanted to enjoy their golden years. A teacher who fell in love with Thailand. A family trying to build a new life. These aren't statistics. They're people whose lives have been destroyed by criminals exploiting their trust and vulnerability. If you fall victim to a scam, you should try to contact a local tourist police or call their toll-free number by dialing 1155. But prevention is always better than cure. Verify credentials, demand transparency, and never let desperation drive you into the arms of criminals promising easy solutions to complex problems. The fake legal services industry in Thailand is a multi-million baht criminal enterprise that destroys lives daily. It thrives on confusion, fear, and the isolation that many expats feel. But it can be fought with information, community vigilance, and the simple act of sharing these stories. Every expat warned is a potential victim saved. This has been Thailand Truth Talks, exposing the uncomfortable realities of expat life in the land of smiles. Today we've pulled back the curtain on fake legal services, the visa monsters and divorce ghosts that prey on vulnerable foreigners. These aren't isolated incidents or rare occurrences. They're systematic criminal operations that have destroyed thousands of expat lives. If you're watching this from Thailand, wondering about that agent who promised you an easy visa solution, that lawyer who claims special connections, that consultant who demands cash up front, stop, verify, question. Your future in Thailand depends on it. The dream of tropical retirement shouldn't become a nightmare of deportation and financial ruin. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and remember, in Thailand's complex legal landscape, if someone promises to make all your problems disappear for the right price, they're probably about to become your biggest problem. The real professionals will tell you what's legally possible, not what you desperately want to hear. Until next time, this is Thailand Truth Talks, keeping you informed about the realities nobody else will discuss.